What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Fit Friends podcast. And today we've got our guest, Aziwe Booi. She'll be talking about how a dietitian can aid you in your health and wellness journey. Stay tuned. Hey, Azzy. Welcome back again. Uh, we've had you before. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of the Fit Friends podcast. How are you doing?
Thanks so much for having me again. I'm good. Can't complain. Weather's getting warmer, so I'm happy. How are you?
I'm also good. Yeah, I want to be the I'm out in my short sleeve t-shirt, so I'm also enjoying
Yay!
the warmer weather. So it's nice that warmer
Yeah.
conditions are coming back, and yeah, we should be in a position where we'll enjoy some sunshine. Winter's been tough considering the things that have happened in the country during this period. I see there's someone tuning in on YouTube. Drop us a comment. Let me know who's tuning in. There was someone waiting already to see Azi Usulo Umabuza. Azi, we're waiting for you. She's here now, Sulo. Here she is.
I'm
Yeah.
here. I hope you're still here, Sula.
Yeah, azokubona naye ukuthi okay, cool. We're on. Yeah, so we're streaming live on three platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on your page on YouTube. That's Health with Azi on YouTube. We're also streaming live on the 21 Day Skip YouTube page. So yeah, those tuning in, thank you for tuning in, guys. Yeah, we're looking forward to having an insightful discussion where we talk about how a dietitian can aid you in your health and wellness goal, right? But firstly, for those who aren't aware, I want you to introduce yourself, Aziwe. Ubatshele ukuthi Aziwe ubani, ubuyaphi, and yeah, what is she about?
Okay, yeah, well, hi guys. My name is Aziwe. I go by Azzy. I am a dietitian. I'm currently in Johannesburg. I work in corporate wellness. That's my day job. So I get to be a dietitian for a corporate company and medical schemes company. But I also spend a lot of my free time doing nutrition content creation on YouTube, on Instagram. And yeah, it's been a really great journey so far. And we have some collaborations also along the way with 21 Day Skip, some meal plans that are going to go along with the guides that are just cooking at the moment. So that's also something that's exciting to look out for on my side. But yeah, I've always loved, you know, nutrition is a very big passion of mine. And I think that it probably does come through from anyone who follows me on any of my platforms. I really enjoy how broad it is and how interesting it is, and what I can offer to anyone out there, just in the most easy, understandable way. So yeah, so that's what I
Okay.
do. That's what I'm about. Yeah.
All right, Azi. Yeah, nangu Shirley. Uyabulisa. Hello, hi, Azi. Yeah, so yeah, she's here to learn as well. Yeah, Shirley is taking part in our program. So I'm assuming she's here to learn. So yeah, Shirley, uh, don't hesitate to drop some questions if you might have questions for us as we progress with the discussion. We really want you to engage and yeah,
Mm.
basically share your insights with us so that we can drive a progressive discussion forward around this topic. Yeah, yeah,
100%.
Azi. So at 21, right, we train a lot of people and mostly women who are on a journey for weight loss and basically trying to change their habits, right? And
Mm.
what I've noticed is that a lot of the time I'll get the question, "Hore, hey, do you guys provide meal plans? And yeah, can you assist me on a nutritional basis?" And usually we are not there yet where we are providing these meal plans to our participants, hence our collaboration now that's in the works. Yeah, so I want to know from you firstly, as a dietitian, um, what are some of the key things that a dietitian can assist one with so that they can align their nutritional goals with their health and wellness goals, right? Obviously, you train and you need to eat correctly so that you can meet your goal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's important to consider is that everyone's different. So
Uh-huh.
one person's goals may differ from another because it's not only your lifestyle that comes into play, it's your level of activity, it's maybe if you have any health conditions. So a dietitian can really help to help give you that specific individualized program that you need. So if you're someone who's looking to lose weight and you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure, any kind of chronic conditions, we can assist you to meet the goals that you want to meet and also help to reduce all of those parameters that measure all those different conditions. So for example, with your diabetics, to help to make your blood sugar levels more controlled. So yeah, that's how we can really assist. So it's really just think anything that has to do with food, a dietitian is involved. So how we can help you meet your goals, whether you're someone who has any kind of women's health issues like PCOS or endometriosis, or if you're someone who has anything like cancer, even cancer patients or anyone in a hospital setting, we really help any person to meet their nutritional needs, because at the end of the day, nutrition is really important for your overall health and wellness, but it can also reduce the risk of certain conditions, or it can help manage some conditions. So yeah, it's really, really diverse what a dietitian can do. In the case of maybe the people that you're speaking about now, in terms of the weight loss goals, etc., it's very, very helpful what we as dietitians can do, because again, as I said, it's very individualized. So we look at what your needs are and what we can do to assist you to meet the goals that you want to reach in the most healthy and sustainable way. That's the main goal. So yeah, it's really it's awesome. I always recommend people to go and see a dietitian if they can, because it's the outcome that you can get from just seeing a professional who can really guide you and give you what you need in the most sustainable way. It's 100% so necessary.
Okay. No, that's dope. So hence we are now working together to provide a solution to the audience such that they can access both the training and the meal plan
Mm.
together. And yeah, we can push forward together and give them exactly what they need so that they can reach their health and wellness goals, right? I don't know. Did you know that 7 out of 10 South African women are obese or overweight? Did you know that statistic?
Oh, when I tell you about statistics, all those statistics were drilled into my head.
Uh
we
huh.
really have we really have very high overweight and obesity statistics, men and women involved. In children as well, it's very high, and I think one of the main drivers for overweight and obesity is definitely diets, sugary drinks. Um, yeah, if you're drinking a lot of sugary drinks, that's something. I mean, it's bringing you all that extra calories without giving you the nutrients that your body needs. So yeah, there's a lot of diets related conditions that obviously also include obesity as well. So if you look at our stats for diabetes and high blood pressure, etc., they're also quite high.
Yeah, can you see that? I'm actually sharing a
Mm.
Google search here that says, "Did you know that 31% of men and 68% of women in South Africa are obese?" And then, like you're saying, the kids as well. 13% of South African children are obese. So this is a huge problem. We tend to assume that the only pandemic that we're dealing with is COVID, but this too is a pandemic if you think about it, right? Because
Mm.
this is a direct impact on the lifestyle ailments that we have. So we have a lot of people who are dealing with
Exactly.
diabetes. We have a lot of people who are dealing with hypertension. We have a lot of people who are dealing with high cholesterol, right? So a lot of the people I train as well,
Mm.
like they basically they see the need for them to change, because if they don't change they won't have longevity in life, right? And yeah, a lot of them are basically like really uprooting some of their bad habits and changing things up, right? So yeah, lately I've been running a lot of polls to see like what are some of the challenges that people are facing health wise, right? Because we know that the food industry has done what? It's engineered food such that it's super addictive. Uh, Mainly sugar. So they've got lots of sugar in our food. They've got lots of salt in our food, right? And this is a big, big, big problem. So I want to know from you as a dietitian, right? As someone who sees clients, like most of your clients, are you usually dealing with a lot of clients who've got underlying health issues who are forced now to actually really switch their diets up? Otherwise, it's detrimental to their life going forward.
No, definitely. I think we can't deny the link between your lifestyle habits and developing any certain conditions. So a lot of people might start by seeing me and wanting to lose weight, but might find that there's other conditions that they have that, when they see me will be able to manage. So yeah, I think it's really it is such an issue. The link between obesity and chronic conditions is very, very clear. And anyone who is more overweight or obese, it makes them to be more likely to have pre-diabetes. So that's when you start to see a change in people's blood sugar levels to the point where it can become a full blown uh, diabetes itself. So yeah, the link is very clear. And yeah, a lot of the kinds of clients that I have seen are mostly weight loss, but I really am very passionate about chronic conditions and the
Uh-huh.
management of chronic conditions. So it's something that I'm passionate about, and I look forward to seeing more patients who are actually looking to get that assistance. So when I say chronic conditions, again, it's diabetes, it's high cholesterol, high blood pressure, um, some people, certain inflammatory diseases or disorders, women's health issues again. So there's a variety of conditions that we can help and assist with.
Okay. Um, that's dope. I like that because a lot of people don't understand exactly what you get from a dietitian, right? A lot of people don't quite understand that. I think
Mm.
the profession itself is yet to really position itself in a way that people really understand what they can get from it, right? Because a lot of the audience that I
Yeah.
train, a lot of the time, they're unaware of the fact that hey, maybe I should see a dietitian that can assist me, right? And then also some of them, their constraints are around the financial constraint, right? Because if I recall correctly, a consultation with a dietitian is not the cheapest thing, right? In terms of you being able to access it. So I know some
Mm.
of them, banally, that hesitation to really, because us as Black people, finance is a key driver as to the things that we do, right? So yeah, like tell me a bit about that. Like, do you find that you deal with a lot of that where clients struggle to access your service because of the price point? Mainly Black women or Black South Africans, let's put it like that.
I think that is a struggle. I mean, there's people who have reached out and they want the help, but the finances don't align. Um,
Mm-hmm.
of course, for me, because I do a lot of my consultations are purely virtual, there is a discount that comes to having or seeing a dietitian virtually. Sometimes that we should be implementing because we're not able to do as much assessments with the person when we're in, whereas if we actually got to see them live in our offices, we'd be able to do body fat percentage measurements and muscle mass, etc., weight, height, all of that stuff. So there's a whole component that's missing when you're doing an online consultation. So even though there are quite a few people who maybe find that the price point is quite high, it is significantly lower than what maybe they would have had to pay if they saw me live. So I think that's the nice thing about virtual consultations is that it can be a little bit more affordable. But in terms of price points, I think it's also what people aren't aware what they have access to. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
clinics and hospitals that have dietitians that you can go to in government for free. Um, Free is relative, I guess, because you do have to pay that 50 Rand or that 60 Rand to open the file. And if you look at time is money. So you're gonna have to wait a while in the line before being able to see one. But honestly, there's a lot of dietitians that people have access to. I think it's just people don't know. Like when I was working in Nobo, so many people were so shocked to see that there was a dietitian Lalin, like in the middle of rural Eastern Cape. And there's so many of us that work in these clinics. Because we have there's a very massive need for us in rural communities, and to reduce chronic disease risk. And most people who come to the clinic are coming to collect their medication for diabetes or high blood pressure, or like any kinds of chronic conditions. So yeah, they really, people do have access to dietitians. It's just that people don't know about it. I think that's the main thing, to actually let people know what they have access to. And then that you can always take it from there. People can decide who they want to see. But yeah, it's always this misconception that you can only get a dietitian in private practice. You'll be paying this and this amount. But yeah, there is a variety of services that you can access. There's even NGOs that are out there where some dietitians will go and they'll let you see them for free.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely variety there. It's just letting people know what they have access to.
So I like what you said there about how virtual has basically provided a platform for you to offer the service at a fraction of the price point, right? I think this is the essence of exactly what we are trying to do in our collaboration together, right? So I want us to get into that a bit. Yeah, because we train people online, and we're using online as a means to make it accessible to get access to like premium training programs and a community that can help you stay accountable without paying like excessive amounts of money, right? And on my end, it makes sense to basically position, like you're saying, in a price point that's accessible and thinking more economies of scale as opposed to wanting to handle few people but charging a high amount of money. And it leaves now a gap for the market where there are those people who are like, I'm training people from all over the country, right? And some of them are in areas where they can't access particular things. It's just difficult. Like you're saying, Bosengobo. It's rare for people to have access to a gym. But abantu basengobo banayo imali abanye, yabona? They do want,
Exactly.
they are quintessential, if ngibeka kanjalo, in that nabo ba online, granted infrastructure yavuma. So we find ourselves in a position where online penetration is much faster than physical infrastructure penetration. I hope you get what I mean. What by this I mean that Yeah, by this I mean that people in certain rural areas will have access to internet faster than they will have access to, say, for example, a medical center somewhere that has access to a dietitian, or a training facility somewhere where they can come and train with me, right? So I'm training people who are, yeah, I have a lot of people who are from the Eastern Cape who've trained with us. So uh, I, I realized the power of internet and what the internet is actually doing for us. And yeah, you and I are now working on providing a collaborative package where when someone joins the program, they can choose to subscribe to this tier where we provide both a meal plan and a training program simultaneously, and we use digital to curate it to you. So I want us to talk a bit about the meal plans, right? So we've structured 3 meal plans for the audience so that they can reach their goals. So ke batla o unpack these 3 meal plans and tell the audience a bit about what the thinking behind the meal plans was when we were putting them together.
Yeah, so I think the main thinking behind the meal plans is to give people different ideas as to how they can eat healthy in a fairly affordable way, in using foods that they have access to. That's always been the main aim. The reason why we have 3 is because people have different goals, of course. And of course, I can't, anyone who joins, I can't go and calculate their meal plan specific to them. They would have to obviously go and ask for that if that's what they wanted. But the main aim of this is to show you that if you're looking to lose weight, you can go on the weight loss plan and you can stick to that. And if you're someone who's trying to maintain where you're at, you can go onto the maintenance plan. If you're someone who's looking to gain more weight or to gain more muscle mass, then you go onto that kind of muscle gain plan. So
Mm-hmm.
each plan has its own amount of calories that's been calculated for it. So the weight loss is about 1,600 calories, because in order for you to actually lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So that deficit is calculated to be at least 400 to 500, or even up to 1,000. It depends on obviously you as an individual and how much calories you are taking in. So you will be in a calorie deficit with the weight loss plan, and that will help you to lose weight, because remember, the main aim for weight loss and the main cornerstone for weight loss is calorie deficit. And then the second
Mm-hmm.
one, which is maintenance, is just for anyone who's just who's happy with where they're at and is trying to maintain their weight. Then that's about 2,000 calories. That's on average how much it takes for you for maintenance, including also your level of activity as well. So remember, that's the main thing that's also very important through all this. Sticking to a 21-day skip plan whilst also sticking to the meal plan. And then, of course, if you're someone who's looking to gain muscle mass, then the plan will be about 2,500 calories. But also just be mindful that as a woman, that you might find that the maintenance might work better if you're trying to bulk. The 2,500 might be more suitable for men. So you can just play by ear which one works better for you. You could always
Uh-huh.
just see, for example, maybe see how much calories you eat on average in one day, and then you know that if you're more likely to be, your bulking would be the maintenance one, then you go for that one. But the whole main aim of it is to make sure that the diet is meeting your exercise goals at the same time, and helping you to reach whichever weight loss goals that you have, or whichever goals that you have for your health. So when it comes to, I think, the bulking, most people think that it's going to be just protein. Protein is important, but carbs are also very important. So just be mindful that the amount of carbs that you're eating, you might be surprised how much carbs you need to actually gain muscle, because you need those energy stores. You use them up a lot during the exercise that you do. So yeah, those are the 3 plans that are available, and you can select whichever one is most suitable for you and take it from there.
Okay, that's dope. And I want us to add a bit there as to just the process of how they will be accessing these meal plans, right? So
Mm.
these meal plans will be made available to you online via our website. And yeah, like people normally do currently, where they subscribe to our program online, you'll be able to select the different meal plans and training programs aligned with your particular goal on the program, right? And then we'll also be sharing insights with them where you get like extra resources, that like tips outside of the meal plan, right? Because I think those are also quite important tips that are aligned with your particular goal, that you'll receive in your inbox. So this will be a nice document that you will download, and this document will basically guide you through your journey or your 21-day cycle, right? The meal plans are structured around 21-day cycles, right? So they are
Mm.
aligned with the training structure as it stands. No? And
Exactly.
yeah, basically we'll be curating content that aids and guides you in the journey for you to reach your health and wellness goal. And yeah, basically a lot of people who are in our audience, this is exactly what they need, right? Something that can kill two birds with one stone. I want to exercise, and I also want to reach my health and wellness goals by making sure that my diet is good as well. Right. So
Exactly.
uh, I also like that you mentioned that the diet plan is aligned with foods that we as Black people eat already, right?
Mm.
And it's relatable food, right? Food that that we eat. That's super important. Why? Because a lot of the time, when you try and research healthy diets and you look at things online, it's foods that are far from us. Completely far
Mm.
from us, and that either means one of two things: you must have your own meal on the pot, katlung, when you're cooking, and then cook separately for the family, and that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to educate them to be holistic in that whatever it is that they're eating, it's aligned with the current diet, and obviously cutting out certain aspects of the diet that we eat, and yeah, making sure that the preparation process is done accordingly, and also ideas, because a lot of the ladies are one of the ideas when it comes to recipes. What can they do in terms of
Mm.
yeah. So I want to hear from you about that. Like, what have you noticed as a trend when it comes to, more specifically, like black people? Like when you consult with black women, what have you noticed, like, as some of their key constraints when it comes to eating healthy, in your opinion?
I think that the family dynamic makes a massive difference. As you've mentioned before, when people go onto sort of any of their health and nutrition goals, they feel like they need to change everything about how they eat, and there's a lot of misconceptions about the food that we eat, that it's unhealthy, but that's so wrong. I think it's just about reprioritizing how you plate your portions. That's the main goal, and looking at how you can still enjoy the foods that you love and still have meals that you'll actually like. So that was my whole main aim with this, and the main aim as well was to make sure that if you have someone who's super strict with it, they can stick with it and still enjoy it, whereas if you have someone who's not as strict with it, they can eat food from day 4 on day 1 and still enjoy it just as much. um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just, I think the main aim is just to show people how much variety there is in the kinds of foods that we can eat, and also to show people that I think as Black people, we always want to have meat in our meals. Like
Mm-hmm.
we always want to make sure that we have meat. And one thing I also wanted to show with this is that you can have a meal that doesn't have meat, but still tastes as good as a meal like that you would think is that has meat. So I also want people to be aware of the variety of protein sources that are out there that we can still enjoy and still cook it the way that we would cook any other foods culturally, but it still is very delicious and it's still healthy and it's still meeting all of their goals. So yeah, I think that the main thing that I wanted to show people is variety. There's variety. You can enjoy the foods that you enjoy as a family or with your loved ones, or even if you're just doing this, cooking this on your own, you will still completely enjoy. But also know that yeah, that's the meal plan doesn't always necessarily have to be something that you stick to a T, because once you have an understanding of all the different ideas, you can mix and match. And that's the main goal. It's for you to have fun with it and for it to be something that, is very useful and practical in your life. And that's also what we wanted to go for. Which is why you might find that you won't always have the same meal. You won't always have a different meal the next day. You might be using leftovers from the day before, just so that you are also reducing that wastage, that food wastage. So yeah, that's the main thing about it. Just showing you how much variety you can do with what you have, and what you know, and that what you know is still nutritious.
Okay. No, that's dope. I hope that everyone that's tuning in and those who will tune in at a later stage to catch the recording, I'm definitely going to share this particular piece with the audience. And I think this piece we can use as well as a descriptive piece for the plan itself and how we intend to actually collaborate and work together, because it really sums it up nicely for anyone who might have questions on what is the package entailing and what are they going to get when they sign up and basically purchase this package that includes training and the meal plan, right? And
Exactly.
then I have a comment here from Shirley. uh, I think she was commenting on a point we were making earlier around how, because we're always talking about how some of the ailments that we face are not necessarily centered around them being hereditary, right? Or umama bekanalento le. So unfortunately, Nami, it's been passed down to me because it's within our family, this thing. Sometimes it's actually
Mm.
related to the diet that we eat as a family. Waba. So here Shelley says, some people will be ready to
Mm.
justify that by saying it's genetic. Things like my mom and her mom was
Mm.
like that. And according to them, it's normal. But I don't believe this. What can you say about this?
Yeah, I think there are definitely genetics do play a role. in a lot of different chronic conditions. But something like type 1 diabetes would be genetic, whereas type 2 diabetes is more lifestyle related. So if you've had family that have had type 2 diabetes, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be as predisposed. You can still, even though your risk might be a little bit higher, if your lifestyle changes, the way that you eat, if you're active, if that's all up to scratch and you do all of that well, then you won't be at risk of getting diabetes. Unfortunately, when it comes to things like cholesterol, that can be quite genetic. I know in my family, it is something that is genetic, and my dad is completely plant-based because it's been the diet that has helped the most to keep his cholesterol controlled. So imagine a black man, a black Xhosa man being like vegetarian. That's what it's taken to control his cholesterol. But of course, it again, like I said, it's unfortunate in those cases where it's like someone who's very active already, someone who eats very well would still have to make certain lifestyle changes to manage it. So that is the case for some people, but it's not. Genetic is a bit of more of a component, but it's not as big of a component overall. You can still make those lifestyle changes and still reduce your risks in that way. So yeah, I agree. I think people like to blame the gene card, but there's a lot that you can do yourself to reduce that risk.
Okay, so I want us to, because I don't know the difference between the two, right? So maybe someone else who's tuning in or who'll be watching the recording, I want us to quickly like explain to people what the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes is. I'm going to pull a screen here. But yeah, maybe you can elaborate to us. What's the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
So type 1 diabetes is something that you might get when you're a bit younger, and that means that your actual pancreas is not able to produce the insulin that your body needs. So insulin is basically the main thing that helps process the energy that we get from food, specifically from glucose. So glucose is found in your starchy veg, your starches, it's in sugar, but of course in different forms, because in sugar it's sucrose, in your fruits it's fructose, that's the kind of fruit sugar that's in it. So basically it's when your pancreas can't process that, and it's not able to work that. So that's when people who have type 1 diabetes have to start having injected insulin. So they have to then inject whatever kind of insulin regime that they're on. It is really dependent on what works the best for their body, however many units they need to inject. And then you have type 2 diabetes, which is more lifestyle related. So with type 2 diabetes, that might be from someone who is overweight or obese, and they had pre-diabetes and weren't able to control it. As I've said before, pre-diabetes is kind of when your blood sugar starts to get uncontrolled, and it's not full-blown diabetes yet. So once they've gotten to the point where they have full-blown diabetes, then they have to start taking oral medication, which is essentially to help, because when you have type 2 diabetes, the insulin sensitivity of your pancreas is down. So your pancreas, that place that makes insulin, isn't as sensitive to be able to control the glucose or the energy that you get from carbs in your diet. So that's why you need the oral medication to help it to be able to process all of that energy that you get from food. So someone who's type 2 diabetic, depending on how controlled their blood sugar levels are, might need to just only take the oral medication, but they might need to take the oral medication and still inject if their blood sugar levels are really badly controlled. So yeah, it's really different. The main difference, if I can say, type 1 genetic, you have to inject. It's not always genetic, but you'll have to inject. Type 2 is more lifestyle related, and you have to take oral medication to help your pancreas to be more sensitive for the insulin to work on processing all of the carbs in your diet. And then if your blood sugar levels are still not controlled, then you have to inject.
Okay, I see. I see. Ish, diabetes. Give my tata actually diabetes. It complicates your shit, you know?
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of misconception when it comes to diabetes and what foods people can eat. I had to fight a lot of fights with different healthcare workers because some people say you can't eat this food or that food, mama, you can't eat banana or you can't eat grapes or whatever. And it's the
Uh,
main thing about diabetes is just making sure that you see a dietitian who can help make sure that whatever plan you have is as personalized to your lifestyle as possible. And that will still make room for you to eat the foods that you like without you having to severely restrict them. There will be changes because you have to make those changes to be able to make your blood sugar levels more controlled. But it's just the approach is very, very, very important. So yeah, it's really interesting. And when you see the blood sugar levels start to go down and start to become more managed, it's so rewarding.
uh, no, definitely. Like when you're able to contain an ailment like that, it
Can you hear me? I think Tawul is frozen. Or am I frozen? Yeah, I think we're having a bit of technical difficulties. I'm just gonna start speaking because I don't know if you guys can see or hear me. I don't see any of the comments. But yeah, I think it is important to if you have any kind of condition to hello.
okay.
Okay, yeah, you're
Sorry.
back now.
The internet had just done some other vibes.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just saying uh, while you were still frozen that it's important for people to identify whatever kind of conditions they have to always go to a healthcare professional, but also to go to a dietitian
Mm-hmm.
because if it's diet related or if it's disease related, we can do a lot of help.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, cool. I want us to switch gears a bit. Uh,
Mm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna pull up your Instagram page. I want to play some of your reels. You're quite
Uh,
into you're quite
I can't watch
entertaining.
myself dance.
You're quite entertaining on the reels, Wawan. So, but
Yeah.
before we do that, I just want to remind everyone to make sure they subscribe to our channel, make sure they share this content, so that we can educate the masses, right? Because our goal is to really create relatable content for Batswabatu so that they can lead healthier lifestyles, right? And really change the paradigm around healthy lifestyle being expensive and so I really want to switch gears and really aid people. So here's a quick reminder. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna pull up your Instagram now. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
share with some audio and we're gonna play something. What's your favorite reel? Why can't you watch yourself?
Yo, Shem, I really can't. I struggle. I don't know what my favorite reel is, honestly.
uh,
Probably
Atisngelela
that apple
kuma-reel.
cider vinegar one. I think that
Okay.
just because it was
Eyiphi le?
keep going down.
Uh-huh.
A little bit
How
more. It was one of the
okay.
first ones that I did.
Uh-huh.
Well, not actually. Okay, go up. Go back up after all of that. Okay, go up again. It's the that
Is
one
it
where
not this one?
I'm like, yeah, that
This
yeah,
one.
that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Let's play it. Let's
Yes,
rock.
that one.
Can you hear it? Oh, the audio is off.
No,
My
it's
bad.
frozen.
I can't play the audio. That sucks. Okay, hold on. Give me a few seconds. Let me reshare the screen and then reshare with some audio. Hopefully it's gonna play. Stop. Okay, share screen. Because I can select here. All right, cool. There we go. Got it. All right, here we are. I can see the face already. Come on, what do you?
I don't like it. All of the things they do. I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it. All of the things they do.
And what was the message behind this reel?
Apple cider vinegar doesn't work. Do you know how many people in the comments were like, it worked for me when I went to the gym and I started eating well, and then I also had apple cider vinegar. And I was like, it's the drink,
Yeah.
it's eating well, it's being hydrated, it's the getting active, being more outside. Like, that's what's leading to the weight loss. It's not apple cider vinegar at all. People were not happy with me. Some people were not happy in the comments. And I was like, I'm just here to give you what the science is saying. Take with it what you will. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me, and that's okay, because I'm just here to help people to make their own informed decision. Because there's a lot of companies that are out there or like influencers who are out there who share what they do in their lives, and that's completely fine. But it's not always science-based. It's not always the most helpful thing. There's a lot of different aspects that will make someone look the way that they are, genetics included. Some people might even not be healthy, and that's why they look the way that they do. So yeah, the main thing is just to show people the science says it's not it. The research that was out there that was actually done on apple cider vinegar and weight loss was done by an apple cider vinegar company abroad. I think it was in Japan or something like that. So yeah, it's really doesn't work. You need to make the lifestyle changes. Yeah. Because people would force it. I really don't blame people about that, because even before I was a dietitian, I remember in high school trying to do the whole apple cider vinegar thing, and one of the side effects is the nausea and the stomach upset, and the lack of appetite afterwards, because of that nausea that you might experience from having it. So yeah, it's really not worth it. You'd rather make a more sustainable life change than add vinegar to your water. And yeah, I mean, apple cider vinegar is healthy if you're having one that has probiotics. So if you see those little strands in it, then you can use that as a dressing. You can use that to bake. But drinking it on its own with water, it's not going to give you that much health benefits, and it's not going to make you lose weight.
No, debunking the myth of apple cider vinegar. Before we play more reels, I want us to head over to the comments because we've got some more comments here. Shelly says, I'm definitely learning a lot. Thanks, Azi. Yeah, you're dropping gems today, Azi.
I'm glad.
And then
came in hot.
Tibello, she's like, this is very insightful. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, Tibello. We appreciate it. Yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to know who's watching and where they're watching from. And yeah, if you've got questions, drop questions here in the comment section so that maybe we can take some questions. We've got 15 minutes to go of this current episode of the Fit Friends podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our daily midday live stream podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the page. Make sure to like Azi on Instagram. Make sure to follow her because, as you can see, she's quite entertaining. She's an entertainer for sure.
As one entertainer, I really try to be that. I really try to be that dietitian who's like, like scientific. But I can't. I have to let my personality come through. I won't lie. If I was giving the information I was giving now, and I wasn't giving it the way I'm doing it, people would be bored, and people wouldn't actually want to know what I have to say. So I'm glad that my personality can come through, and people still feel like, okay, yeah, I'm learning a lot here. So that's always great for me to hear.
Okay, so we're gonna watch some more. I want us to pull in some more. Yeah.
Oh, which one is the next one?
Which should I play?
You can play. Honestly, you can play any of them. The
Let me
vegetable.
see.
This one is a good one. That
Okay,
one is a
what's that?
recipe. The one that you're on.
All right, let's play it. Let's see.
Let's make these delicious veggie pizza wraps. You'll need tomato paste, pasta sauce, herbs and spices for your base. Add mozzarella, top with veggies, and let the cheese melt in the oven. Serve it with some fresh apple. Follow me for more healthy recipes. Let's make these delicious veggie pizza wraps. You'll need tomato paste, pasta sauce, herbs and spices for your base. Add mozzarella, top with veggies, and let the cheese melt in the oven. Serve it with some fresh apple. Follow me for more healthy recipes.
I want to know from you, like, what do you get? Because obviously, the thing about eating healthy is that about inspiration, right? Gore? Uthole, like the right type of food to make it nice and delicious. We all enjoy eating delicious food. Nothing is as boring as eating a boring meal. And then obviously, how meal prep our table. When you're meal prepping, you're boxed into that meal for whatever duration, right? And that's sort of boring. Yeah, like tell us a bit about where you find inspiration for food, and like, are you like kind of what's the word? Kind of what's the word? Pedantic, like, or are you finicky? If in simpler terms, are you finicky when it comes to like trying out new things, making sure your meals are always interesting?
No, I'm very creative. I think with me, I like to try new things. I like to see how I can use what I have to make something that maybe I'm craving. I think that's where that whole pizza wrap recipe came from. I was just like, I was thinking how I can make pizza in Robo, but like I bought these wraps from like Mtata, and I'm like, let me just try and see if I can make like use the base as as my pizza base instead of having to like make something from scratch. And then I went online, and I get a lot of inspiration from just going online, going on YouTube, as everyone else does. So yeah, that's where I got the idea to do the whole pizza wrap thing, and it's honestly it's so great, and I think everyone needs to try and use what they have to make foods that they like. I love to eat pizza. That's one of the like takeaways that I like a lot. So if I can use what I have and save costs without having to go and buy like the actual meal, but also get to make it to be more healthy, add more veggies, etc., then I think that makes it a plus. But yeah, in terms of the inspiration and stuff, I think yeah, sometimes I just look at what I have and then I see what meals I can make around that. Like for example, yesterday I knew I had red lentils. Um, Again, I'm in a mostly plant-based household, so most of the time I do have to make a lot of vegetarian meals. So yeah, I had red lentils, I had veggies, like I had frozen veggies, I had red lentils, I had rice, and I made a curry out of the red lentils, and it was really nice. Um, and yeah, so it's just about also using what you have, and I like to, especially when you speak about the whole meal planning thing, my main aim is for meal prep to make my life as easy as possible. So if that
Mm-hmm.
means that I'm cooking rice in bulk, and that's a rice that I can use. Not I don't necessarily have to use over a couple of days, but I can also freeze. Then that's also helpful. If I can make something like mince that I can have as a wrap during lunch, I can have it with a nice whole wheat pasta for dinner, or I can have it with rice as well. Then that's what I always want. I always like to go for specific staples that are very versatile and broad, and for staples that I know take longer to cook, I like to make them in more bulk so that I know that they're always there for me to take, especially on the days where you feel lazy and it's been a long day at work and you've barely had a lunch break and you just need something that you can just be done with in 10 minutes, in 15 minutes, 30 minutes at most. So I think that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, trying to make things easy, simple and easy as possible.
Fresh, ibalulekile leyo because
Yeah, cool.
not yeah, because nothing. Well, for me, I really enjoy practicality like that, Oban. And
Yeah.
like yeah, my schedule sometimes is extremely hectic in terms of like the things I need to execute, and I find it difficult to strike a balance between like yeah, when your work takes up so much of your time that other aspects of your life really take a dip, right? Where without help, like you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna be able to execute. Ka mokgwa o tlamehile o execute-eng ka teng. So yeah, I really want to learn that from you and really just master that art. You know? Personally, if I could, actually, I'd have someone cooking for me, and all I do is focus on my grind, and then I'm in and then I'm in a position where when it's lunchtime, I can go and eat, and come back, continue grinding. Yeah, because it's really difficult to strike the balance, man. And I know I'm not the only one who deals with this. Wawan, where mhlomong like life's demands are so demanding of you, and then you still have to find time to do all these other things, right? And I've noticed that, yeah, that's why most people struggle with takeaways and because
Yeah.
literally time is not on your side. Like you're so bogged down. Wawan. Yeah,
But there's a
so
lot of ways to move past that, I
I'm
think
listening.
that, for example, sometimes I don't really get that much of a lunch break. Like I have a 5 minutes to quickly grab something, then I have another meeting. And in that 5 minutes, you can put 2 slices of a nice whole wheat low GI bread in the toaster. You can grab a can of tuna, get some light mayo, grab a bunch of lettuce leaves, cucumber, tomatoes, quick to chop. And then by the time the toast is out, you're just putting everything on, cutting it in half, adding some extra salad on the side that you grab, some extra lettuce leaves on the side, and then that's it. I think sometimes we do overcomplicate healthy eating and nutrition, and sometimes you also need to know that there will be days where you're not eating as much veg as you would like to, and just be compassionate with yourself on those specific days, but to try as much as you can. I think the main aim is to always keep trying, and to actually make the time. I think we're living in a world where we all work from home, and a lot of our businesses are so demanding, and we need to try and prioritize even a 10 minutes or 15 minutes to ourselves to nourish our bodies, because if you're doing that, you're actually helping your productivity during the day way more than if you don't eat anything the whole day, and then you have something for breakfast and then you have something for dinner. So yeah, I think it's also important for us to try and make that time, and to be like, okay, for this 10 minutes or for this hour, however much time you're able to give, you need to be very like mindful and intentional. I think is the main aim. If you're intentional about it and you're actually just trying to, then that will make so much of a difference. But I think it's also tough because there are ways to help. I mean, I know one dietitian, I think her name is Ria, the cooking dietitian. She has like a catering company, and I think she also does do meal prep services, like where she gives people like prepped meals that they can order. So there are small businesses and bigger businesses that are like that are also helpful, but again, that's always at a cost, of course. So it's dependent on what you're able to access. Yeah, I think that 10 minutes, even that 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I've done it in 5. I've had a 5 minute interval between a meeting and run and done that, and I felt so much better.
Yeah. No, because the one thing when you're training, calorie intake is so important. Fueling, you need to be fueled up, and at the right times, so that you don't crash. Yeah, so we've got 5 minutes left. I don't know whether we should either play another reel. Oh, yeah, yeah, so perfect. I see it here. I glimpsed it here. We're talking about skipping meals. People after not skipping meals be like, let me add this. Let me see what you put together here. Yeah, because
Dude, I'm getting my personality back though. Like I'm feeling like myself again.
Yeah, I know.
I really was not myself. Dude, I'm getting my personality back though. Like I'm feeling like myself again.
Yeah.
Tell us more about this reel. What was the drive behind this particular reel?
The drive was, oh man. So I think we all have people that we interact with, and me and my colleagues always joke about like if we've been eating and like people say, no, we just ordered, like, because sometimes we would all decide that we were going to order something. This was when I was still in the office. Then we would decide we're going to order something and be like, no, it's fine. I had this. I'm not going to eat dinner now. Like, people will make joking comments like that. And I think everyone kind of makes comments like that whenever they eat something that's anything borderline, quote unquote, unhealthy or takeaway or restaurant.
Yeah.
So the main aim was like, also the fact that, you know, when you don't eat enough and when you skip meals, you don't feel like yourself. You feel more tired, you feel more irritable. You might not be able to get your tasks done as much. You might just not feel as much you anymore. So the main thing was just to have fun with that, and to show people that, like, when you don't skip meals, you feel more yourself, you feel more energized, and it's not something that you have to do. Skipping meals should never be an option. The only option is to give your body the food that it needs and to listen to your body when you need to eat. And our bodies tell us when we're hungry, so we need to listen to them when they say that we're hungry instead of skipping the meals.
Okay. No. I think we can close it with that gem. No. That gem is super important. I think don't skip meals. Make sure you eat correctly. Maintain a balanced lifestyle. All right. Kyotiwel was saying that I feel like we all relate with that last reel.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so many people told me that. Yeah, it's very relatable. I've also been there. Honestly, we are all on the same page. We are all on the same page. We just need to talk ourselves out of that mindset of, let me skip this meal. Like, rather say, I can just eat something. Let me eat something healthy, even if it's just let me eat this fruit. You know, just eat something. Just don't skip the meals. Don't skip.
Okay. Yeah. So we've come to the end of. Oh, yo, Gabriel. Before we go, my body requires KFC all the time. Is it healthy for me to eat KFC all the time? Well, I think that's an addiction, and it's a problem because we all know that fast foods are not centered around health and wellness, right?
They're centered around taste.
Yes,
Centered on
and
tasting good. That's why they have so much fat. That's why they have the sugar. That's why they have salt. It's really just to make you enjoy it. It's not to actually give you nutrients. It doesn't give you that much nutrients. Yes, there's protein in chicken, but it's very high in your saturated fats. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of ways that you can enjoy your favorite foods, and having KFC that on that one time, you know, you can have it that one time, enjoy it, enjoy your streetwise too, enjoy whatever it is. But yeah, the main thing is just to try and not have as many of those kinds of foods often. So KFC is one of the foods that you should be mindful not to eat often. And that will, like, it won't help you with your weight loss goals or with your health goals overall, because even if your goal is not weight loss, eating high refined foods and high foods that are high in fats like KFC, it's not good for your health.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we've come to the end of our live stream. We're exactly 59 minutes and 44 seconds in. Yeah, I think we've had a really dope conversation. Thank you once again for coming through. I really enjoy these conversations because, yeah, they are natural and they go in a very positive trajectory. And I like the engagement from the people that we get. Yeah, Gachi, so unfortunately, I can't take this question right now. Yeah, we'll have another podcast. We're planning to have monthly podcasts between ourselves and Azi as part of our collaboration together for the meal plans and the training program that we'll be selling together. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to either our page or her page so that you can get notifications when we will be going live and sharing content. Make sure to follow our respective pages on Instagram. I know it's at Azi_Booi on Instagram. Yes. And then we are at 21 Day Skip. That's the number 21 Day Skip. All together on Instagram. Make sure to follow us. Yeah, so that we can help you with your health and wellness goal. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to what we refer to as the Fit Friends podcast, where we connect with our friends and we talk health and wellness and we talk fitness and we talk all things centered around the journey of leading healthier lifestyles, right? With the goal to help people live longer and the goal to help people make better decisions when it comes to their health and wellness lifestyle, right? Peace, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
hope.
me.
All right, Azzy. Hope everyone has a good day. Yeah, we're back on again tomorrow at midday. I've got another guest on the live stream. Yeah, make sure to tune in if you're keen to learn more. Yeah, the guest will be sharing about alkaline diet. Mpos Alkaline, he has a health and wellness brand that basically sells herbs. And I think he also has a bar, well, seeded bar, where they sell um, plant-based foods or plant-based takeaways. Yeah, that maybe might be of interest to someone who stays in Pretoria and you want to get access to some of their stuff or learn from him. Yeah, because Mpo has quite a lot of knowledge when it comes to herbs and like herbal medicine that can aid you from detoxing, you name it, all sorts of things that people deal with. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. Peace, guys.